Hey guys, so I've been wanting to make a video on here for the longest time, but I've always been so afraid and so nervous and I didn't really know what to say. But last year I had such a positive year and I've learnt so much, so I thought, why not just give it a go? Which is something I thought I'd never say, but I thought, why not just try it out? And it's always been a goal of mine, so I want to achieve it. So I was trying to think of ideas of what to say, and I thought, what's the one thing that has impacted my life so positively, has made me so happy, and is something that I can really easily talk about? So obviously I'm going to be talking about Dragon Age Inquisition, my first experience playing the game, and basically I'm just going to be fangirling over this game because I love it so much and it's made me so happy. So how I got into Dragon Age Inquisition was I was looking for a new game to play and I saw that Dragon Age Inquisition and The Witcher had recently just come out. They both look like the types of games that I would be into. Both were really similar, they were getting really good reviews, so I decided to buy both of them. I never played any of the Witcher games before. I played like 5 minutes of Dragon Age Origins. I don't know why only 5 minutes. I think it was because I was obsessed with Mass Effect at the time, and when I get like obsessed with the game, I get really obsessed and I play it for like a year or more straight. And then when I try and switch to other games, it's so hard because I miss my main game and then I don't get into that game and it's just a whole mess. So I bought both of the games and I said to myself, whichever game arrives first is going to be the one that I will play first. So Dragon Age Inquisition arrived, I started the game and the menu screen came up and the epic music started playing and I was just like, wow. The sound is so beautiful. All the Dragon Age music for the menu screen is so gorgeous. I can just sit there and listen to it all the time. I started up a new game and then I saw that you could play as an elf and I was just like, hell yes, because I love elves so much. And whenever I play a game, if I can play as an elf, I always do. So I was a Dalish elf and I played as a rogue. I had no idea really about the classes, the races, or anything like that. I had no idea about the lore behind Dragon Age. So I was just choosing what I thought sounded cool and I left her as the default look because I had no idea about the customization back then and I just thought she looked really pretty, so I was really happy with the way she looked. So within the first 5 minutes I fell in love with my Llewellyn. I think I became attached to her right away because she had no idea what was going on. I had no idea what was going on. I was just like, what the hell is a fade rift? What's the anchor? Who is this really cute Cullen guy? Who's this mysterious bald guy who I totally won't romance? And the more I played the game, the more intrigued I became. I just loved the world and I loved reading the codexes, I loved exploring, I loved the maps, I loved how big they were and how much you could explore, and every time you play the game you learn new things and you find out new things. And I loved just the characters and how real they were, and I loved the cultures and their beliefs and the races, and I loved how much effort and thought was put into this, and it just made me want to learn more. My favourite thing probably to do was exploring. I loved when new locations came up because I was just so blown away by how much there was to explore, by how much there was to do. And each location had so much thought and so much effort put into them, like finding codexes around or statues or things like that that connected to the lore of Thedas, and it just made you want to explore more and find out new things, and everything was just so interesting. And I loved how different and unique they were. So say from the Hissing Waste to the Emerald Graves to the Hinterlands, they were all so beautiful and so stunning and so different, and they all just had a different feel to them, and I could just spend hours and hours exploring and wandering around and just waiting for that adorable banter to trigger. But it was just a really good distraction and something enjoyable other than working on the main quest. The characters in Dragon Age is probably something that BioWare is best known for doing so well because they do so well at it, at creating them, and they felt so real for me. I loved meeting them. I loved finding out more about them. They were all so individual and so real, and they just felt like real friends. And I loved just that you had the options to kind of like alter their life or change who they were, and it just made you feel more connected to them and made the game feel more real. And it's so amazing playing a game for the first time because you're playing it with fresh eyes. So you have no idea, it's like your first time meeting a character, and your opinion is so different to how it is, or with me, how it is like playthroughs later, because some characters when I first met, so say Sarah, I was just like, my character didn't get along with her at first, but later on I learned to love her so much, and it's just amazing how your views can change. And I just love all of them so much. I love the thought and effort that was put into making the character feel like a real friend or not. Llewellyn is probably my favourite protagonist out of the 3 Dragon Age games. Probably my favourite protagonist ever. The only one I felt really attached to was my Shepard from Mass Effect. But I felt real feeling from my Llewellyn, and I got attached to her so fast. I wanted to see her improve. I wanted to see her progress throughout the story. I wanted to see how she was going to react to things. I wanted to see her happy, her sad, and I felt that feeling when she did. And it was just amazing that a character like her, or a video game character, can inspire you so much and make you feel these things. And I just put so much thought and effort into her, and I was just really, it made me happy when she achieved things in the game, and to see her grow. And I was just so proud of her because she wasn't a hero to begin with, and throughout the game she just became more stronger. And then in Trespasser you see her at the end on the balcony, and she just, no matter what she's been through, she was just so strong and so confident and just looked so brave and ready to take on the world. And that really inspired me and motivated me and just gave me so much confidence because I wanted to be like her. And it's really thanks to BioWare and the voice actors and whoever was involved in creating the protagonist for putting so much feeling into the character, and for the player to be able to receive that same amount of feeling, and just for it to give us inspiration. And that's why I love her so much. So one of my favourite parts of Dragon Age Inquisition is probably the Corypheus attack or finding Skyhold. And it was my first time playing the game, so I didn't really know what I was doing. I wasn't doing really any of the side quests, but I was just in love with this game already, and I was just like rushing, just doing all the main quests because I wanted to see what happens at the end. And I actually thought the Corypheus attack was actually the final boss. I thought it was the end of the game. And I was so sad that the game was so short, but I was already so addicted and so in love with it. And then the Dawn Will Come played, and I was just like, oh, this is such a perfect ending to the game. Like, it's such a short game, but oh my god, it's so good. And I was just so emotional, and I started crying, and I saw my Llewellyn and was so proud of her. And then you saw Skyhold, and I was like, oh, okay, so that's Skyhold. So obviously that's for the next game, right? And that's what I actually thought. And then we got to Skyhold, and I was like, wait, no way. And my life was just made. I was so happy that this game was like continuing because I just wanted to see more of this game. So my life was made, and you got to Skyhold, and then that epic scene played, and Cullen goes, your leader, your herald, your inquisitor. I think he says it that way. And Skyhold quickly became somewhere that felt like home for me. When I take a break from the game and come back into it, it just feels like such a happy feeling I get. And I feel like I'm among people who I love, and people and characters that I feel like want me there. And I'm just so happy to see them and to hear from them and to see what they're doing. Even though I've played the games heaps of times, just visiting them again, whether it's Cole, Dory and Cullen having drinks with Bull, just being among them and having that family type vibe, somewhere where you feel like you're accepted and you can be yourself. and it just is a really happy place for me, and I think they did a really good job at making it feel like somewhere where the Inquisitor feels like they have achieved something and it's their own place. So I ended up romancing a certain bold elf. Yeah, completely ruined my life. No, but I love the solo villain romance. It's actually a part of why I love my villain and Solus so much, and it just completely ruined my life. But I saw this tall, slender, bold elf, and I was like, he's pretty cute, he's wise, he's smart, he's mysterious, he's very smooth talking, and I was like, I want that one. So I ended up romancing him, and it was going great. He took my Llewellyn on the balcony, he told me he loved me, and then he weirdly just walked away, but whatever. And then he said he wanted to take my Llewellyn on a beautiful date to Crestwood, and I was just like, finally, I have been waiting for this. And then he left my Llewellyn, and she was just standing there heartbroken, crying. Yeah. I have never been so upset or confused in my life, and I just completely freaked out. I ran out to my parents and I was just like, oh my god, my boyfriend just broke up with me. I don't even know what's going on. He said that we can't be together for some weird reason, and I'm just so confused. And I probably looked crazy, but I didn't even care. And then I ran back in my room, went back into the game, didn't care about anything else, went straight to Solus, and he said that we couldn't be together until the Corypheus fight, or he was going to explain what happened after the Corypheus fight. So obviously what I did, I completely rushed through the game to get to the end of the game. I didn't even care about anything else. I was just like, I need to know that Solus and my Llewellyn are going to be happy. They're going to be happy, right? And then he left. And I was just like, Mel, why? Of course you would romance this one. So I was such a mess. I was just like, whatever, I didn't care, you know, just break my heart and take my armor. I just felt so bad for my Llewellyn. I was just like, I don't even know what happened. And then after the credits cutscene played with Solus and Flemeth, and she called him the Dread Wolf, and I was just like, okay, what's a Dread Wolf? Because it was my first time playing the game, so obviously I had no idea about the lore or anything, and I was still heartbroken, and I looked it up and I was just like, yes, hell yes. I was so happy. I was just like, of course, Mel, of course you would romance this one. Great choice. And then I went and played the game another 10 times. So I was already obsessed with the game, and I started a new playthrough, and I also saw that Joseph Hakon had just been released, so I went and downloaded that, and I really loved that DLC so much. I loved that there was a new location, there was a big map, there was loads to explore, loads to do. I loved learning about the Avar, and I loved Ameridan, obviously, and I just loved being able to play as my Llewellyn again and having new content. And I think a few months after, the Descent was released, and I really loved the Descent so much. It was really heavy lore-wise again, and it was really challenging, but the DLC I was truly waiting for was Trespasser. I remember when Trespasser was released, it's such a good memory for me because it was so emotional, and I remember staying up all night waiting for it to come up on the Xbox store. And then waiting hours for it to download, and I was just making like theory videos. Only I would see them, but I was just so excited and I wanted to see Solus again, and I just really was happy to see my companions again and seeing what everyone was doing. So I played the DLC and it just blew me away. I've never felt so much satisfaction from a DLC before, and I was just completely happy with how everything turned out. I love seeing my companions again. I got so emotional, like seeing Dorian and Cole and just seeing them being happy, seeing them improve in what they do and how they were. And it just felt like visiting old friends. And I really liked my Inquisitor in Trespasser. I feel like they did such a good job at expressing the Inquisitor's emotion and dialogue. and just made the character feel more real in what she said, the tone of her voice, whether she was sad or happy. It just made my Llewellyn feel like she was hurt, like she had enough, and it just was amazing to see her like that. And one of my favorite parts in Trespasser is when they're at the Winter Palace and they're about to go fight the Canary, and the anchor starts flaring up, and you have those 4 dialogue options of how to express how you feel about it. And I really love the angry option. Angry option was so good. It made me so happy hearing it, the way it was said, and just it being in there is exactly what everyone wants. It's exactly how you want the Inquisitor to respond. But of course I went with the sad option because I'm just a horrible person and I like seeing my Inquisitor hurt. But when I first heard that, I broke down. I couldn't believe that the way it was delivered, she just looked so sad and it was expressed with such emotion. And I've never seen my Llewellyn like that before, and I just felt so sad for her. And it was so great to see the Inquisitor break down like that. And that just sounds so horrible, but it's just, I've never seen that before with my Llewellyn in the main game. And I thought it was just so great that they put those types of options and express those types of emotion in the DLC. And I really hope that they do that in future games, because it just makes you feel more connected to the character, more emotionally attached to the character, and it makes that character feel more like a real person. And I cannot wait for Dragon Age 4, because the way Trespasser ended, it was like a great goodbye to the Inquisition, to the companions, saying goodbye to these memorable characters that you felt like you've had a journey with. But I can't wait to see new faces, and I do hope they bring some characters back. But Dragon Age 4 is like all I live for. I just can't wait to see what they do. I can't wait to see what Solus is up to. And I hope to see my Inquisitor again, because I love her so much and I feel like she's not finished and she is still badass and she can still save the world. So after finishing the game, I had a little rage in me, a little rants in me. And I went online and I always read the BioWare forums. I always looked up Dragon Age pages, seeing what people were talking about. I was really passionate about the game and I loved everything about it, and I wanted to talk to people about it. But I kind of had no friends and I had no one to talk to. And I also had social anxiety, so I was very afraid to express my opinions online and also to just reach out to people or comment on certain things. It was really hard for me. So after a few months, and I feel like Dragon Age really inspired this in me, I finally got the confidence to start messaging people, and people were just so nice to me. Everyone was so welcoming, so accepting. It means so much when people want to hear what you have to say and people accept what you have to say. And I'm just so happy to be within a fandom where everyone is just so nice and so loving and so caring. And I've made some amazing friends and met some really talented people. There's so many talented artists within the BioWare fandom, and I'm just so proud to know you guys. And I just wanted to thank a lot of my friends for inspiring me and inspiring me to be brave and to make this video and to do a lot of the things I've done. And just Dragon Age has made me so creative and has made me so much more confident, and I have a lot to thank them for. So thank you, BioWare, and thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you guys like this video.